in Irving, Texas, between Dallas and Fort Worth. And another sellout crowd today for the Cowboys and the Redskins, one of the traditional rivalries of the NFL. Here are the standings in the NFC's Eastern Division. The Eagles, who at the moment lead Oakland 10-7 with just a couple of minutes to go. Dallas at 8-3, Washington at 3-8, but those records don't mean much in this series, does it?
This is very important. Joe Theismann, he's hurt. He has a bad hamstring muscle. This is Jerry Robinson of the Eagles picking it up, and you'll see number 7, the very important part of the Redskins, trying to chase him, go to the left, and you can see him having a labor with the right leg that's now strapped up today, and he will try to play, but he's got to be in there.
Should point out, Tom, I think that Theismann did warm up and didn't look like he was in too much pain. The Dallas Cowboys came back last week, as they've done so often this year. And this is action against St. Louis and Drew Pearson.
It's 5th touchdown catch, and of course they're the highest scoring football team in the National Football League right now, 29 points a game. And the Redskin defense will test that.
The other Pearson. And good afternoon to you. I'm Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire, and I don't care what the records are. In this series, anything can happen.
Well, if you're trying to classify an upset possibility, Washington has a very good secondary. Some people, Dick Vermeil said it's the best secondary in football. They will close off the pass. I think that Danny White will have to go to Dorsett and probably run the ball a lot.
As we mentioned before, there is not much of a possibility of a letdown. I talked to Tom Landry, the Dallas coach, and asked him if he thought maybe the Cowboys might let down against Washington.
He looked good today, didn't he?
Sure did.
I don't think so. It'd be unusual if we ever had a game really where there was a letdown, because the rivalry is so great, and actually we enjoy playing the Redskins, and I'm sure they enjoy playing us, and there's no love lost, so we have a lot of fun out here today.
You got a tough schedule coming up. Would you rather finish on a high note like that, or would you rather finish with an easier schedule?
Well, actually, what you want to do is to get into the playoffs. That's the main thing, and you don't like to finish with the teams that we're going to finish with this year, but if we finish and play well against them, then and get into the playoffs, we ought to be ready to make a run for it then.
Jack Pardee was conspicuous by his silence. He had nothing to say. The Redskins struggling at 3-8. Pardee under a little bit of pressure in Washington, but this game,
coaches are under about as much pressure as commentators these days.
Some commentators, some coaches. Mark Mosley will kick off for the Redskins. James Jones back in the middle for Dallas. Mosley with that strong, very strong leg of his. Kicks it high and keeps it up in the air a long time. And it will be Jones. It's wet and slippery at Texas Stadium as Jones starts for the 6. And he can get some things done. Jones down the sideline. Outside the 40, where Dallas will take over. Rick Walker made the tackle for Washington, but Jones, who is among the leaders in kickoff returns, adds to his average.
He came in with almost a 23-yard kickoff average. Perhaps the one place that Ditka wanted to impress was kickoff return, get the good field position. He is a good-looking young running back and very strong. He takes it straight to people.
Good block by Timmy Newsome to set up that return by Jones. First down, Dallas at their own 43. First play from scrimmage, Danny White, the quarterback.
Some quarterback. What a great year he's having.
Wow. Roger who, they say now. Tony Dorsett swings to the outside. The Redskins have always been successful at shutting him down. He's averaged just 3.2 yards a carry in the series against Washington. Here's the Dallas offense.
Donovan, Scott, Fitzgerald, Rafferty, Jim Cooper now is back at right tackle doing a good job. And, of course, Billy Joe Dupree will start in there at tight end. They can block.
Two of the best wide receivers in football, Tony Hill and Drew Pearson. Danny White, the quarterback. Dorsett and Robert Newhouse, who has reclaimed his fullback job.
Averaged 5 yards a carry last week against St. Louis. You don't notice him except that he blocks and does his job every week, doesn't he?
No game for Dorsett, so it'll be 2nd and 10. Dorsett and Newsome are now the running backs as Drew Pearson starts in motion. Dorsett again. And Tony behind good blocking, a good hold, gets about 5. Floyd Bacon made the tackle.
As we look at the defensive lineup, we'll explain a couple of things. They're a down 4. Lawrence, Dave Butts, by the way, one of the best defensive tackles anywhere in football. Smith having some problems at right tackle, and Coy Bacon is always an outside rusher. You can run inside of him.
Dusek, Olkowitz, Monty Coleman, the linebackers, the secondary Parrish, Lavender, Peters, and Murphy.
Superb secondary. They'll get on you man-to-man and really shut down your hot receiver.
Dorsett got 5, so it's 3rd and 5. Ron and Springs down the backfield with Dorsett. Number 20 and number 33. Springs the lone deacon. 3 wide receivers, including Butch Johnson. Intended for Springs, and he is racked by Tony Peters, and Springs is down, and so is the ball. Dallas will have to punt.
Springs made a good pattern. He did a swing and fake to the outside like he was going to go toward the sidelines, but watch what happens. Peters is a young man that beat out Kenny Houston, and he can play out of Oklahoma, a young secondary man who really nailed him.
The man who throws is also the man who kicks, Danny White. Mike Nelms back deep for Washington. Number 21, standing back at the 10-yard line. White, good snap. And trying for the sidelines, and it looks like he'll do it.
Oh, what a kick.
At about the 9-yard line, it goes out of bounds. Benny Barnes, the first of the Dallas coverage, number 31. He'll start. Let's look at some other scores. 24-10.
Detroit got it started finally again. Now they started the engine.
They had been in a stall for a long time. But it looks like the depression's over in the Motor City. New England 47, Baltimore 21. Matt Cavanaugh started at quarterback.
Burt Jones is not playing for Baltimore.
That was the last we heard. We'll check the rest of the scores in just a minute. First down, Redskins.
Looks like they've got big splits on the offensive line. They've got to try to run the ball, Pat, but they don't do it too well.
Double tight ends, Walker and Warren. And Dallas. Let's go now to Brent Musburger and the NFL Today for a report.
Thank you very much, Pat. Now, you just gave the final score that New England jumped all over Baltimore. This is how the game went. Nesby Glasgow coughing it up, and a 22-yard fumble run into the end zone, and the Patriots were never headed. That was Ray Claiborne. 47-21 final New England. Let's go back to Pat Summerall.
The Patriots get it rolling after a stall last week against Los Angeles. Hardeman and Jackson, the running backs. This is Wilbur Jackson. Benny Barnes closed the hole from the outside. Benny has reclaimed his starting job.
Dean is in for Hermley, the left tackle. Saul, Kuzil, Jeff Williams, Stark. Fair offensive line. They even get caught for holding a lot these days with the new rules, and that's not easy to do. They got Warren as their tight end.
Monk and Thompson, the wide receivers. Theismann, Jackson, and Clarence Harmon now. It'll be 3rd and 4 for Washington at their own 16-yard line. No score, opening minutes. Dallas, Washington. Ike Forte and Clarence Harmon now the running backs. That is Harmon. He will not get the first down. Just barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. Harvey Martin led the defensive charge for Dallas.
The Redskins have a good short passing game. That is their passing game. Interesting, on 3rd and 5, they were afraid to throw into the Dallas nickel this early. You can see that Harvey Martin just plays off Dean's block, gets into the play. Excellent pursuit by number 51.
Connell, the kicker. Season's average 37 plus. Deep man is James Jones, number 23.
Pat, the Redskins have got to force a fumble to get into this game. They've got to do it with a good turnover break and try to get on the board early.
Long count, good kick. Should be returned as Dallas comes back to try to set something up. And Jones inside Washington territory might go. Connell is the only man who has a chance, the punter. Jones down the sideline, knocked out of bounds by the kicker.
He takes it straight up. That time he got hit on the hip pretty hard. He didn't go down and cut to the outside. That's a great punt return. Jones comes in averaging 10 yards a return on punts. And boy, you got to think quickly on your feet. Watch this run back. He'll take it straight up right now. Watch him get hit on the hip. Get rid of the tackle, slide to the outside. Hello there, you better get the troops and hustle up.
That was Clarence Harmon who hit him and almost knocked him out of the rest of the coverage. Jones and the book on him. That average got better. 46-yard punt and a 52-yard return by James Jones. 1st and goal, Dallas at the 9. Dorsett. 2 about the 6. The Redskins shut him down there, led by Brad Dusek.
The old Texas Aggie, he makes some play that time. He got tied up with Billy Joe Dupree and still got out and made it almost on the line of scrimmage. Remember those Washington defensive teams that used to come in here? They did it on contact and good solid football, hard hitting, and somewhere along the line this team was forgot to hit.
Newhouse is the running back now alongside Tony Dorsett. Newhouse shifting. Danny White again to Dorsett inside the 5 to about the 3. Olkowitz on defense for the Redskins.
The linebackers are really active. Coleman, Olkowitz, and Brad Dusek are really a good-looking trio, and they do make good contact. Coleman's the leading solo tackler on the squad with 60 already.
It is 3rd and goal at the 3 as Washington changes to their goal line defense. Here's the last play.
Watch the right part of your screen. Watch, well, we won't get a chance to see it, but that's Big Dave Butts. And as you and I were talking about it, 6'6", 287, he might be one of the biggest, strongest guys in football.
Tom Landry on the telephone with a new feather in his cap. Dorsett. Touchdown.
Woo. Can he accelerate, huh? Tony Dorsett, he's wearing a flak jacket on those ribs on the one side. And don't ever think that he won't take punishment. That time he went straight ahead as his 8th touchdown rushing of the year. Let's see how Fitzgerald and company operate. You're right on the line of scrimmage, folks. Watch this. He's not going to either side. It's straight ahead. Covered that ball up, protected it, too.
Good block by Rafferty as he pulled behind Fitzgerald. The whole thing set up by that 52-yard punt return by James Jones. Charlie Waters holding for Raphael Septien. 7-0 Dallas.
He still hasn't missed an extra point this year, has he?
9 minutes, 51 seconds left in the first quarter, and Dallas breaks on top of Washington by the score of 7-0.
I looked at Datsun 280ZX and Porsche 924 because I wanted a refined sports car. Then I looked at and drove this new Mazda RX-7, and that's all it took.
Just one look, that's all it took. Yeah, just one look, that's all it took.
The Mazda RX-7 keeps getting better. Even the mileage is 24% better than last year. And the more I looked, the more I liked the looks of its price.
The more you look, the more you like.
I'll tell you, I was a born soccer player. Did everything with my feet. Took out the rubbish with my feet, made the bed with my feet, drove my mum crazy. But I finally found something I enjoy doing with my hands, drinking light beer from Miller. Light has 1/3 less calories than the regular beer. It's less filling, but what really makes me happy is the taste. It's terrific. Now, my mum should be happy too. Look, Mum, no feet.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
It's nice to be back.
I'd say it is. The best barbecued beef in the world is right up here in this booth, huh?
I'm going to order some wherever I go from now on.
Room service.
Mike Nelms back deep for Washington. Septien will kick off for Dallas. Nelms in the middle. Back to Mike Forte. Zion McKinney. And that's McKinney. That is Nelms. He's over there with McKinney.
And that's what Washington's going to have to do to get in this game. They have got to get the run back. And, of course, right now, Dallas has turned the special teams the other way.
That's a final score in Philadelphia now. The Eagles beat Oakland 10-7.
It must have been some battle.
The only touchdown by the Eagles, a 3-yard run by Wilbert Montgomery. That's the final score, too, as those Browns continue to roll. 31-7 over Cincinnati. A long year there. That touchdown by Montgomery came with less than 3 minutes to go in Philadelphia, by the way. So the Eagles continue with the best record in football. Wilbur Jackson got some good blocking. Benny Barnes made the tackle. Jackson slow to get up.
Clarence Harmon got a good block on Charlie Waters, the safety man that came up and met the play right away. But if you just try to make a living at running to Dallas, you're just going to be right into the wind. Here it is. Newhouse goes to help seal off on Butts and company. And Dorsett just split the crack right away fast.
Second down. The Redskins. They need 5. Buddy Hardiman and Wilbur Jackson. Running back to the Redskins. Theismann still the quarterback. Gives to Jackson. Jackson gets perhaps 1. Check some of the other scores. The Eagles 10-7 over the Raiders. That's the final. That's the one I just told you about.
Of course, Philadelphia comes here for the last game of the season.
Well, that ought to be some match. Buffalo 28. Steelers 13. That's a little bit of a shock to a lot of people, I'm sure, especially those in Pittsburgh.
Coach Myers talking to the crew, offensive line, and that is a good one.
Quiet but efficient assistant is Jim Myers. 3rd and 3. 8:25 left first quarter.
Haven't seen a pass yet, have we?
See one now. Theismann. Rolling, chased by Harvey Martin, and down he goes. Theismann with that bad hamstring, just not as agile as he might be.
And Harvey's 7th sack of the year, a big one. This is what Theismann can do. He can roll and make your defense sort of go one way or another. He can make you overbalance. This time Harvey stayed outside. Beats Dean's block, a rather feeble one. And get those hands up the way the Dallas linemen do. Big play.
Jones back deep for Dallas again, standing back at his own 26-yard line. Another good kick. Jones, however, with another chance to return. Dallas setting up the wedge, but nothing doing this time. The Redskins, who traditionally have been so good on special teams. Monty Coleman, the first man down to tackle. And so with 7:39 left in the first quarter, Dallas leads Washington by the score of 7-0.
For the John Geyer family, life has suddenly changed. Presenting In Television, the 2-component home video system from Mattel Electronics. Start with the master component for super video games and education. Then add the keyboard component, available in 1981 for finances, self-improvement, and more. Discover In Television. Its growing library of programs can change your family's life.
Can't wait to show you my new car. A solid, new 1981 Bartell.
But that's the new 81 Cutlass Supreme.
A sure Oldsmobile had it built, but it's me. Solid. Sound good? Great styling, and I even got a diesel for solid economy. I tell you, this car is me.
We've had one built for you.
Bartell. Cutlass Supreme.
Oldsmobile.
Next Saturday, precision and daring as pilots from around the world wing it on the CBS Sports, and the battle of the NFL cheerleaders continues next Saturday, 4:30 Eastern on the CBS Sports Spectacular.
Jack Pardee, the ex-Texas Aggie, the head coach at Washington now. And Tom Landry, the ex-Texas Longhorn.
He's only been here, what, 21 years? What if he's going to make him permanent?
He might get some votes for the Coach of the Year. The rebuilding reclamation job he's done with the Cowboys.
Coach of the century.
Danny White looking deep, throwing for Tony Hill. Got it. What a throw.
And great pass protection allowed Danny White to go back and wait for him to clear. He split the up man who was covering the corner up. That was Lavender. Boy, Tony Hill can get closer to the sidelines and catch it better than any darn receiver right now in football.
Those of you who've been watching Atlanta defeat Chicago 28-17, welcome to Texas Stadium. Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire. It's the Cowboys and the Redskins. Here's Danny White, the last play.
All right, you can see Rafferty is working on Big Dave Butts. The throw is perfect. It just keeps the safety man from coming over and getting the corner right on the sidelines.
1st and 10, Dallas. Washington 45. Drew Pearson started in motion. This is Dorsett. Tony for about 4. Carl Lorch led the Redskin defense. The way things are going right now, the Redskin defense has been on the field for a lot of plays.
Of course, if you get Dorsett all cranked up, you know, he's had back-to-back 100-yard rushing days. You get him some early success in the first or second quarter, and he can have a 200-yard rushing day.
Second and 5, those 17 100-yard days he's had since he's been a Cowboy ties the Cowboy record. Is held by Calvin Hill.
And you don't do it by yourself. You got to have good people up on that line of scrimmage.
And you need a good quarterback to help you out. They've got one, Danny White. This is Newhouse straight ahead. Looks like he's about a half-yard short of a first down. Paul Smith made the tackle with some help from the rest of the Redskins.
How about the attitude of Newhouse, though? Early in the year when Springs, the young Ohio Stater, had him beaten out, he didn't say much, did he? He just waited for a chance to play, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. And quietly reclaimed that job that he had held for so long.
Averaging right at 4 yards a shot, and he can block.
It'll be 3rd and 2. You can see Dorsett on the right side of your picture, and notice that flak jacket that was mentioned before that he's wearing. Newhouse shift over together. Newhouse got the first down by about a half-yard, stopped by Jarris White.
Some tackle by White, number 45. I mean, he hit him right on the line. That's going to be a very close measurement. Watch Newhouse just get to the outside. Donovan goes ahead and buries the defensive lineman. Newhouse makes that quick fade, and Jarris White makes himself some tackle. He's pretty close to the line with forward momentum, wasn't he?
They're going to bring it in. And that gives us a chance to tell you that Fred Silva and his crew, Fred's the referee today, Ralph Moorcroft, Frank Glover, Jack Johnson, Tim Kearney, Jim Osborne, and Don Orr, the rest of his crew. First down, Dallas. Washington 35.
Good play to throw on, perhaps, if you're as good a quarterback as Danny, and you've got Drew Pearson on one side and Tony Hill on the other.
Tony Hill out to the left, Drew Pearson out to the right. Billy Joe Dupree, the tight end on the right side. White fakes to Dorsett and looks for some place to go and can't find it. Coy Bacon is the first Redskin there. Let's go for an update down to Brent Musburger in the NFL today.
All right, Pat Summerall, the Philadelphia Eagles on this critical third down play against the Oakland Raiders pulled it out. Jaworski with an escape act went to Harris. Then Wilbert Montgomery scored from 3 yards out, and the Eagles pushed that record to 11-1, 10-7. Back to Pat Summerall.
So the Eagles continue as the most successful team in professional football. Their record now is 11-1.
I told you they're the best prepared football team I've ever seen take the field.
They've got a tough schedule down the stretch.
Last sack was by Coy Bacon, his 8th of the year.
White to Dorsett. On the draw, it was 2nd and 16 when that play began, and again it's Coy Bacon who makes the tackle for Washington.
Good play that time. He controlled Donovan, kept the play in front of him. Coy Bacon is the guy that we call the 1,000-year-old defensive end. Coy's about 38 at least, and he plays well wherever he's been, San Diego, Los Angeles, Cincinnati, and on given days, he can play anybody tough. Look at the play he makes here.
Number 79, 3rd and 16. Dallas has Butch Johnson and Preston Pearson in their lineup now. 3 good wide receivers, and they operate from the shotgun. They're the best in the NFC in third down conversion.
Right at 50%, Patrick.
And Danny White calls a timeout. Official back deep in the secondary. Don Orr dropped his yellow flag.
Well, Danny's going to make sure the officials take that timeout, and Dallas did not want to burn one.
They did burn one.
Timeout was called. Timeout was called before the 30-second clock expired.
They were saying that Danny White audible for 5 touchdowns in the first 8 games this season. And that's how much faith Tom Landry, man you're looking at right there, has in this young quarterback.
This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Dallas Cowboys and the National Football League is prohibited.
I loved it when Mosley was warming up, kicking field goals before the game and kicking them into the stands. I looked up and Tex Schramm was going up there getting some of the balls back.
Unsuccessfully. We'll be in Detroit Thanksgiving Day, as will the rest of us at CBS Sports, for the Bears and the Lions. Billy Sims and Walter Payton. What a matchup that ought to be. That's what they've done so far this year.
Thanksgiving is just a great football day. It always has been, whether it's high school, college, or pros, huh?
I understand that Payton was ejected from the game today against Atlanta because of a questionable fumble call. And I got to believe that's the first time that's ever happened.
Well, I've never seen him argue about anything. I've seen him run over people a lot.
He ran over the official. 3rd and 16. 4:09 left first quarter. Ball is at the Washington 41. Dallas leading 7-0. Butch Johnson moves in motion. Danny White from the shotgun. Ball slipped out of his hand. Arm was an attempted forward pass.
Arm was coming forward.
Did somebody hit him?
No, well, it looked like he got brushed, but it looked like he was trying to reload it. The coverage, again, is very good by this Redskins secondary, and they'll give you 30 different defensive formations. See, he tried to reload it, just lost it, but the arm was coming forward.
Carl Lorch is the man who applied the pressure. Deep man is Mike Nelms for Washington, and Danny White will punt. But that always is somewhat of a doubtful issue. He'll take a look and see if he has a chance to run. High kick. He is hoping will bounce in his direction. Into the end zone. Washington will operate from their own 20 with 3:53 left first quarter. Dallas, after a 52-yard punt return by James Jones, Dorsett scored, and the Cowboys lead the Redskins 7-0 in the first quarter.
Theismann hadn't thrown a pass or completed one yet.
STP, a big name in racing for nearly 20 years. STP oil treatment on the track in some of the world's most expensive engines. Around the track, around the world, every day, tens of thousands of people get STP oil treatment. Get it for your car. Satisfaction guaranteed. Around the track, around the world, STP oil treatment is #1.
My name is Mike Withers. I'm a State Farm insurance agent in Rockland, California, speaking for thousands of State Farm agents all over the country. We have various reasons why we think State Farm has maintained a reputation and people keep coming back to us year after year. My personal belief is that it's the service. We deliver when the policyholder has a problem. We sell on that basis and we deliver on that basis, and people keep coming back.
State Farm is there.
Monday on a special 1-hour Flo.
Happy Turkey Day, boys!
Flo plans a Thanksgiving reunion, but will the feathers fly when her daddy arrives? Find out Monday on Flo.
What a comeback by Houston. 28 points in the last quarter, and that's not over yet. It's 28-28 at Shea Stadium.
They were down 21-0.
First and 10 Washington, Wilbur Jackson and Clarence Herman. Two running backs. Here is Theismann's first pass, batted down by D.D. Lewis. Nothing doing there. Let's go now to Brent Musburger for an update.
Pat, the Pittsburgh Steelers are in danger of falling out of the playoff picture, and this is one of the plays they'll remember. Ferguson of Buffalo, and watch the catch by Jerry Butler in the end zone. Chuck Knox and the Bills put the Steelers away 28-13, and the Steelers' record is now 7-5, and as you just pointed out, Houston has tied the Jets. Quickly back to Pat Summerall.
Buffalo continues to roll. So does that Cowboy defense. That's John Dutton that came over and helped out, knocked down Wilbur Jackson. Mike Hegman was with him.
Artie Stautner was saying before the game that to go from defensive end to defensive tackle like Dutton has done is one of the hardest transitions in all of football. You can go from a tackle and become a defensive end, but you put a defensive end inside, there are a lot of people around there, you know it? You have to read signs and be very sophisticated.
As a rule, this is a change they make as Larry Cole comes in for Dutton now. Dutton plays the running downs, Cole the passing downs. Theismann back. And the pressure again is on, knocked away by Anthony Dickerson. Clarence yards. Harmon, the intended receiver.
Washington is taking the big splits on the offensive line of scrimmage, which is good, except that you can also pass rush against it. You have a lot of room. Now watch Randy White stunt, go to the outside. Cole takes 2 blockers, and Randy gets just enough pressure to where the ball was thrown almost at his leisure, not at Theismann's.
Look on Mike. 46.5 is average today, but James Jones brought one of those back 52 yards to set up the Dallas touchdown. 3:06 left first quarter.
Offside.
They mark it down. See what James does with this one. Let it roll and get away from it. Offsides, I'm sure, against Washington.
Monty Coleman, I believe.
It was Coleman who jumped, and they'll bring it back and do it again.
Man in motion on the punt. You know, this team has been covering punts, the Redskins, about as well as anybody. I think the average is like 5 yards a punt return is all, and Jones is going to wreck that average today already.
They have always been, under George Allen, under Jack Pardee, good on the special teams.
Illegal motion. Offense, number 51. 4th down.
First quarter score, that's the Seattle Seahawks against Denver, 7-0. Denver leading. Ken Harrison over on the Washington bench.
Is that legal to tape over the shoes and everything?
I guess so. Will be soon if it's not already.
They didn't have enough tape to keep me together when I played.
Jones again deep. Penalty was, of course, accepted by Dallas. 2:53 left first quarter. Dallas up 7-0. Harmon checking things over, now backing out. Connell the punter. Dallas does not try to block it. Jones should have a chance with this one, too. And he does. Inside Redskin territory at the 47, where Dallas will operate. They've had good location every time they've gotten the football.
Wysocki gave him a good shot on that one. Good coverage.
7-0. Cowboys over the Redskins.
Simple evolution. After 9 years, the Honda Civic has grown a trunk and 2 more doors, plus a lot of other simple features you'd expect to find in a roomy and comfortable sedan. But because it's a Honda, you also get incredible gas mileage. The Honda Civic 4-door sedan. It's simple evolution.
Honda, we make it simple.
Watch what happens when you make a small investment in a Black & Decker router. Suddenly, things you thought only a professional could do, you can do. It'll shape an edge, decorate, it'll trim a counter, make clean grooves to hold shelves. It'll even write your name. A Black & Decker router can turn something ordinary
into something beautiful.
And Black & Decker makes a complete line of routers starting at incredibly low prices.
Next Saturday gets barrel rolls and crash dives as pilots from around the world take to the air, and the battle of the NFL cheerleaders continues next Saturday, 4:30 Eastern on the CBS Sports Spectacular.
Texas Stadium. Dallas leading Washington 7-0 with 2:43 left first quarter. At Summerall to Tom Brookshire.
Danny White is 1 of 3. He's had a ball, he's been sacked, he's had a ball fall out of his hand. He's not doing too well with this Washington secondary.
It is one of the best secondaries. But teams have been able to run against Washington in recent weeks. Double tight end set up for Dallas. Saldi and Dupree both in the game. Here's White. Down the middle, intended Newhouse and got Newhouse. About the 32, Monty Coleman made the tackle. Newhouse only about 5'8", not that big a target.
And the great thing is that he's the blocker. If you put him in there, they're looking for Dorsett. They're trying to make sure the most dangerous receiver is covered. Let's see how many Newhouse has caught. That was his 6th catch of the year. You have to throw it pretty low to get it to him, don't you?
Jay Saldi checks out, and Doug Cosby comes in, number 84. The career for White against Washington. And off Newhouse, misdirection. Newhouse inside the 25 to about the 23. Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders have a new song.
It's called what? I Love the Dallas Cowboys?
Very original. Cheer too.
Don't tell me football is all violence. I don't believe that.
Second down play. Line of scrimmage, the Washington 23 when that began. Clock running just over a minute left to play in the first quarter, and Dallas leading Washington 7-0. Jay Saldy comes in, number 87, to check in with Danny White.
You know, intensity level is really high for the Cowboys, Patrick. You think they might come in here and think, well, we can blow this team out and maybe get a little lethargic, but they look to me like they are humming high and wide.
Of course, they're very aware of what happened in Philadelphia, and the Eagles continue to lead them right now. Philadelphia record is 11-1. The Cowboys began today 8-3. So they've got to win to keep pace. White. Screen pass. Should be successful. Newhouse inside the 10 to about the 6. Paul Smith chased him down, but well set up.
A great play, but a great defensive play by Paul Smith. The defensive tackle smelled it when he didn't get much contact on the line of scrimmage and chased it all the way from the line of scrimmage around. Good offensive play, but an outstanding defensive effort. Here the screen is. They'll engage, make it look real, then let the lineman on through. See, now they're going to have to set out. Rafferty's out there now. Watch number 78. He stays right with it. Scott's out in front, but Newhouse doesn't know he's got trouble behind.
That's the last offensive operation of quarter number 1. Good block by John Fitzgerald, too, who was out in front of that play. 7-0 Dallas at the end of quarter 1, number 1 at Texas Stadium.
Take it easy. You know, I was known for working long and hard during training camp. Why, even after my teammates were asleep, I'd still be out practicing my moves, and that's still important. So I drink light beer from Miller. Light tastes great. It's got 1/3 less calories than a regular beer, and the best thing is it's less filling. Because listen, I still train the same way as the old days. Practice, practice, practice.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
This man leads the good life. He puts on his bow tie, he puts on his tuxedo, and then he puts on his Accord LX, our most luxurious Honda, with features like variable assist power steering, digital clock, and air conditioning as standard, with plush seats and deep pile carpeting. So, for people who lead the good life, the car that leads the simple life.
Honda, we make it simple.
Television should be more than an electronic tranquilizer. At its best as an art form, television should touch you, involve you, move you. The art of television, experience it at its best on the one television that is itself a work of art. The Emmy Award-winning Sony Trinitron. Sony, the one and only.
Shea Stadium in New York with a score Houston 28, the New York Jets 28.
First quarter, Pat, the Redskins had the ball offensively for 9 plays.
Dallas has it now. First and goal at the 5. First play of quarter number 2. Doug Cosby, Jay Saldy, and Billy Joe Dupree. 3 tight ends now. Saldy in motion with the outside trap move. Newhouse. Down to about the 2. Perry Brooks is the first Redskin to make contact.
You know, when you get into time of possession and all, it looks like a statistic that doesn't mean anything. But the Cowboys have been having the ball 12 minutes more than their opponents the entire season. Almost an extra quarter. They've got the football.
No wonder they're 8-3.
It's hard to score without it.
Second and goal from the 2 for Dallas. They already lead 7-0. Ron Springs blocking back. Dorsett barrels down to about the half-yard line.
Dave Butts was sitting right in the hole waiting for him that time. We told you, Butts goes about 287, number 65 in the left part of your screen. Takes Fitzgerald's block. Watch him seal off. Well, that is tough.
A big body to be hurling around like that.
Remember how mad he got at us because we thought he had small feet?
We made a quick adjustment. I know that.
I said you can have 16 AAAs. I don't care.
3rd and goal from the 1. Dorsett and Newhouse now the running back. Danny White on a quarterback sneak. Redskins are saying fumble. Washington says we have it.
Look at that pile of players. The officials are trying to...
Can never get them separated. One of the officials in the middle of it now.
Looked like a crap game for a minute.
With no winners. At about the 1-foot line. Landry, Tom Landry that is, has decided we'll go for it. Fitzgerald, the snap, Butts underneath the pile. And he did a good job again.
That would have been White's first touchdown rushing this year. He didn't get it.
Newhouse goes out. Newsom comes in. Timmy Newsom, the rookie, the biggest of the Dallas running backs. He goes about 230.
Got to get him aimed in the right direction, right?
4th down. About a foot. Dorsett's back there with him. Newsom is straight ahead, and I don't think he got it. I don't believe he got it.
That's some goal line stand.
I'll say.
And that is going to really pick up the Redskins team. That'll help the offense more than you would believe. Who's on the bottom this time, Pat?
Brooks and Butts.
Brooks and Butts. They're a pair of bookends for you. I'm telling you, that is some defensive charge. He didn't even get close. He may have lost a foot.
He didn't get it. You've got to break that plane, that imaginary one that we've talked about so many times, and he didn't even scratch it.
The Thin Black Line. Thin Line Ramunda by Spidell. A masculine watch band for today's thinner watches. Thin, supple, with a look of rich black leather. It's the ultimate expression of Spidell elegance.
You think it makes me look thinner?
No, darling. It makes your watch look thinner. The Thin Black Line. Thin Line Ramunda by Spidell.
Hi, my name's Jerry. We're identical twins. Well, almost. I like this 1981 Toyota truck because it's tough.
I like this 1981 Toyota truck because it's low price.
He always likes a bargain.
And he always likes to be tough.
Look, I see my sister's point. For the money, this truck is hard to beat.
And I see my brother's point. A truck should be tough, like a Toyota.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Mr. Macho.
What a feeling. Tough deal.
Toyota.
The goal line stand by Washington.
Watch Butts, number 65, get the penetration. Everybody got low, and then the Motley people come over the top. That's a great play.
Peters and Murphy both over the top to knock Newsom back. Washington will take over at their 1-foot line. Joe Theismann, the quarterback. That's Clarence Harmon, and he's knocked backwards. Bob Brunig, the middle linebacker, was the first man to hit him. With help from Too Tall Jones.
Pat, the Redskins have that short passing offense that we've been talking about. We haven't seen it because Theismann hasn't had a chance to do much with the football. But they have takeoff patterns off almost every short pattern. And once in a while, Ricky Thompson will run an inside bend and then take it up. And it looks to me like Theismann's going to have to do that to loosen up the secondary for Dallas.
It'll be 2nd and 9 as Buddy Hardiman comes in place of Clarence Harmon. And he's back there with Grover Jackson. To the 4. Just shy of the 5, Megan. Aaron Mitchell made the tackle on Hardiman.
Theismann's playing with that hamstring all wrapped and all. And if you've never had one, folks, you don't know what it is. It feels great until you make a quick, sudden move. And he's going to have to worry about that quick move against a big rush.
It'll be 3rd and 6 as Ike Forte joins Clarence Harmon. And the Redskin backfield. 11:50 left in the first half, and Dallas leading 7-0. Ike Forte to the 5.
Hagman made a great play, number 58, Pat. You can't string the play out any better than that and then make the tackle yourself. Watch what happens to the right of your screen. The picture will tell you this story. Watch this to the right. Hagman keeps playing off blocker, one blocker after another, maintains his control of it, and then makes the tackle himself. Here comes Randy Whitebar.
That is an excellent defensive play by a linebacker. Right behind Mike Connell, the kicker. If he steps out of the end zone, it's a safety. He's got himself about a half-yard cushion. Jones back deep in the field. Good kick.
Oh.
Fine kick. Penalty marker down. Jones retreats into his own territory and slips down at the 44. Penalty flag down, however.
That was some punt and good coverage. Pat, you said earlier, it is damp. It's been sort of misty for the last couple of days, and the rug is slippery down there.
Then the conference goes on. Dallas would have the football at the Washington 44-yard line, 1st and 10, if they decide to go ahead with whatever happens here. The discussion continues, and Fred Silva would let us know what's happening.
Double foul. 34, White. Holding. 22, Redskins. Personal foul, replay.
Double foul, replay.
Well, we put a young man in the same situation. He'll still be close to that back line, but that was some punt he just rooted out of it that time.
Chase Jones all the way back into his own territory, and you remember he was standing about a half-yard from the back edge of the end zone.
What do you do now? Put some pressure and try to block it if you're playing defense?
I doubt it. They didn't that time. Just try to set up a return. They had a pretty good wall set up on the far side of the field, but Jones slipped down. To the punter, you just hope you hit another one as well as you hit that one.
Those hands have got to get a little clammy and sweaty, right?
Not as good a kick, but the result might be better. On that turnaround, Washington picked up about 4 or 5 yards, and Dallas takes over 1st and 10 in Redskin territory. A little discussion continues between some of the rival players.
Thought we'd never get it today.
7-0. Dallas over Washington in the second quarter.
How do folks feel when they service their cars with Napa brand parts?
Satisfied.
On top of the world.
Listen to it. Just listen to it.
I did it. And no parts left over.
Lots of Napa brand parts are better than a car's original parts. And using quality parts produces results that make folks feel
great.
When the name is Napa, the standard is quality.
What would happen if you could take the turbo diesel engine from the Mercedes-Benz 300 SD turbo diesel sedan and put it into the Mercedes-Benz station wagon? This would happen. That's exactly what Mercedes-Benz did for 1981. Introducing the world's first turbo diesel station wagon, the Mercedes-Benz 300 TD.
2 special Thanksgiving treats. First, a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Then, a brand new special, Thanksgiving in the Land of Oz. Be watching Tuesday at 8, 7 Central Mountain.
Texas Stadium in Dallas. Irving, more correctly, the home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Matt, the Skins had the ball for 5 minutes and 32 seconds in the first quarter. They do not have a first down. And you're right, their defense is on the field a lot.
10:38 left in the first half. And no first downs for Washington. Ron Springs and Tony Dorsett in the backfield. White. Picked off. Intended for Salvi. Lamar Parrish picked it off and the Redskins take over. Let's go down to Brent Musburger in the NFL today.
All
right, Pat, thank you very much. 4 minutes into overtime, Pat Leahy kicks this 38-yard field goal, and the New York Jets down the Houston Oilers 31-28. Leahy missed a 36-yarder with 6 seconds to go in regulation time. The Jets a winner, a big loss for Houston. Back to Pat Summerall.
Lamar Parrish just picked it off for Washington.
One of the best. This was a deep sideline by Drew Pearson. And Lamar Parrish is as good a solo coverage man as you'll ever have. That's a great play.
Theismann drops and throws. Caught on the far sideline by Art Monk over the head of Aaron Mitchell.
He's the young rookie, the '1 draft choice that Bobby Beathard got out of Syracuse. They're going to call it back, I think.
They say he didn't have both feet down in bounds.
Good-looking throw. Monk has 6 foot 2 inch height. I'm told that his patterns right now are still a young man's. He must have run out of bounds and then come back in to make the catch. The official was right there looking down the line.
That's exactly what happened because he did get both feet down in bounds. But once you leave on offense, you can't come back and be eligible. It's okay on defense.
Some catch, though. He's quite a receiver. He has 44 catches coming in.
Really coming on. So it'll be 2nd and 10. Their own 36 for the Redskins. Dallas up by 7. Jackson. Bangs out for about 8. Charlie Waters made the tackle, shy of a first down. Green Bay 19, Minnesota 13 in the 4th quarter.
It's a comeback story, and Bart Starr's done some job with the Packers.
Seattle a field goal now. They still trail Denver, however, 7-3. Young Cowboy fans.
First big season for her, huh?
Think she knows it's 7-0?
Mama will tell her, I'll bet you.
3rd and 1. 45, Theismann's going to throw and throws quickly outside. Caught. Art Monk again, and that'll be enough for a Washington first down, the first one.
A good short outside pattern. Theismann looked like he's throwing it pretty well, but you notice that he has to get away from arms and legs to throw the ball on every reception, every attempt. The Dallas linemen are very good at getting in, get penetration, and get those big arms up.
First down at the 48. Just over 9 minutes left to play the second period. To Jackson. Wilbur Jackson with some room. Jackson to the 30. Inside the 20. Down at about the 13 by Dennis Thurman.
He had a long gainer earlier in the year for 55 yards. The hard-working guy that used to be with San Francisco, out of Alabama. And you know the Bear doesn't put up with somebody that doesn't want to play football. Watch him take it up inside. It gets closed off. Too Tall Jones had overrun it. They took him on down. And now you got a little bit of a problem. George Stark was blocking on Too Tall. Good-looking run here in the secondary. Had to really get over there and close it off because he was wide open when he broke the line of scrimmage.
That block by Stark was really the key to the whole thing. That's what Jackson has done, and he just improved his average. Redskins line up, first of all, with 3 backs. Back there, Kenny Harrison swings in motion. This is Ike Forte.
Ho-ho.
Not much doing there. Let's go down to Brent Musburger in the NFL today.
All right, Pat, Joe Montana in San Francisco against your former team, the New York Giants. What started out as a routine play broke loose for the Niners. Rookie Earl Cooper from Rice got the job done, a 66-yard touchdown, and the 49ers strike first on the Giants, 7-0. Back to you, Pat.
At Texas Stadium, Redskins on the move. 7:40 left second quarter. 2nd and 12 it is. Dallas leading 7-0. Ike Forte split out wide to the left, and there's some confusion as far as Washington is concerned, and Theismann has called a timeout.
How about Too Tall Jones? A little embarrassed on the play before on the long Jackson run. That last play, he knifed in and took half the offensive line with him making a tackle.
Too Tall in conversation at the moment with Harvey Martin.
How about the draft trading and all? The year when Gil Brandt got Too Tall Jones and Danny White for Toby Smith and Billy Parks.
Not too bad a deal. 7-0 here. Michelle Pardee and Joe Walton.
Excuse me. I'm not the same crazy coach who used to storm around the sidelines yelling at the officials. I've learned to relax, and I drink light beer from Miller. Do you know that light's got 1/3 less calories than a regular beer? And listen to this. Light doesn't fill me up. Besides that, light tastes fantastic. Oh, sure, there are a lot of other beers around, and you can drink any one you want. But let me tell you this.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
As I was saying, I don't care what anybody else...
Introducing a small wonder, the new Toyota Starlet. Born small to solve big problems. Born small to deliver more miles per gallon of gas than any other car, and designed to help beat higher maintenance costs. The very new Toyota Starlet. Born small. In fact, it just may be the first small wonder of the world.
Oh, what a feeling.
Starlet.
Toyota.
Outstanding.
7.5 minutes left to play in the first half.
Theismann is 1 of 4 for 3 yards. That was for that first down to Art Monk.
And that is the only first down. No, I beg your pardon. Wilbur Jackson got the second one with that run of his a minute ago. 2nd and 12. Art Monk swings over in motion. Theismann brings it back to Clarence Harmon. Randy White makes sure that nothing develops out of that.
Had some receivers going downfield. It looked like they were really thinking that they were going to catch the Dallas team preparing for a pass that didn't exist. But this draw went nowhere. Mr. White, Randy White, was the one that showed up, huh?
Green Bay 25, Minnesota 13. Packers, as Tom was mentioning a minute ago, have really turned things around. Kansas City, another team that has turned things around. 21-13. 3rd and 13 here as Theismann looks around. And Jones on top of Theismann. Crowd, of course, is saying that was intentional grounding, but there's no penalty marker.
But he was already in the grasp of the defender, and these days, once you grasp the quarterback, the play is over. Again, this was an audible call at the line of scrimmage. It's a short out. It was covered. And now somebody that's 6 foot 8 or 9 inches tall comes in, and you do what you have to do.
You fall down quickly.
It's tough, lonely work, right?
Mark Mosley with Theismann holding.
It's 5 of his last 6, and he hasn't kicked one or tried one in 3 games.
Mosley with that remarkable leg. Drills it straight. And good. Mosley puts the Redskins on the scoreboard. It is 7-3 Dallas with 6 minutes and 45 seconds left to play in the first half. If anybody was expecting a Dallas runaway, they were wrong.
Imagine a hot ball of light that you've got to get rid of. It gets passed to you faster and faster. That's the thrill of strobe. Strobe, the frantic new electronic action game. As the hot ball of light gets passed to you, press the button fast to get rid of it.
Can you take the pressure?
Make one bad pass and... Strobe, the fast action hot ball of light game from Lakeside.
Need your help. Is it me or my 1981 Toyota Corolla? Watch. See what I mean? I know Corolla looks like a million, got plenty of style, not to mention a peppy 1.8-liter engine. But I ask you, is it me or my Toyota Corolla?
Give me a ride to the library?
Tell me, was it me or my Toyota Corolla?
Oh, what a feeling.
Your Corolla.
Toyota.
Next Saturday, precision and daring as pilots from around the world wing it on the CBS Sports, and the battle of the NFL cheerleaders continues next Saturday, 4:30 Eastern on the CBS Sports Spectacular.
James Jones is number 23. Mark Mosley will kick off for Washington. For years, you know, the Cowboys had been accusing Mosley of wearing illegal equipment, having an oversized juiced-up leg of some kind, but the Cowboy staff coached the Pro Bowl last year, and Mark was there, and he did the same thing after their inspection, so they accept him now.
Just glad he's got those new socks on, so he doesn't get fined anymore.
Jones at the 1. And Jones Jones banks out to about the 21. Jairus White. Mike Nelms down for the Redskins. The Redskins scoring drive, 8 plays. The big play, the one by Jackson. 48 yards, 34-yard field goal by Mosley puts him on the board.
And the goal line stand just completely changed the tenor of the game, didn't it? The Redskin defense got off the field, which is something all defensive players are trying to do, and the offense finally got it moving.
Dallas has a new offensive center. Bob Shaw has replaced Fitzgerald. I think that was the plan going in. It doesn't mean that anything is wrong with Fitz. Around the outside, tripped up by Dusek.
Dusek that time caught Rafferty, who was pulling on him, number 64, one of the best pulling guards around. Watch Dusek come up, take care of the outside, take on the guard, and then get outside and somehow trip up Dorsett. And those are fast feet. That's some play there.
Dusek is 59. It'll be 2nd and 11. Ball at the Dallas 21. Just over 6 minutes left in the first half. It's Dallas 7, Washington 3.
Danny White had 5 interceptions against the Giants.
Yes, that's 38-35 loss.
Tough secondary he's working with now.
Pearson Hill posted wide to the right. This is Newhouse to about the 24. Harry Brooks, who along with Dave Butts is having a big game, makes the tackle for the Redskins.
They play pretty good third down defense. There's Richie Pettibone, who's in charge of that secondary and all, right there next to Pardee. And these guys will bring in the nickel people, and they'll play inside and out, and it's a different coverage every time you come down.
Richie is a pretty good secondary man himself.
Big, too.
With the Bears. Quarterback at Tulane. 3rd and 8. Salvi in the flank to the right. Keep in mind number 26, Preston Pearson, standing back there with White. Now in a 3-point stance, and White wasn't happy with his offensive alignment and uses his second Dallas timeout. That means they have only one left with 5:08 left in the first half.
He and Jay Saldi were sort of looking at one another like Jay was on the wrong side. He was sort of slotted to the right, and I think he was supposed to be to the left.
That is the final score. Green Bay 25, Minnesota 13. Detroit won today, so their record would be 7-5. The Packers 5-6-1, and certainly not out of the playoff picture at all.
How about Lynn Dickey? Is that one of the great success stories of all time? Coming back to quarterback the way he has?
There's a guy who kept Blue Cross in business for years.
We saw him play Pittsburgh, and they gave the Steelers all they could handle.
Thanksgiving Day, we'll have some updates on what happens in that goofy division. The Bears against Detroit at the stadium in Pontiac. Billy Sims against Walter Payton and the rest of the Bears. Thanksgiving Day.
And the wild card team probably would play up there, right? Should it be maybe Dallas, huh?
At the Silverdome. I hope they have us a turkey there.
We never get a chance to have the bird, man. Usually the people in the booth eat it before we get a chance to.
That's a small booth.
Small turkeys.
3rd and 8. 5:08 left. Ball at the 24. 5:08 left, that is, in the first half. 26 is back there with White. Preston Pearson. Butch Johnson swings in motion. Redskins with a 3-man rush to Butch Johnson. He dives, can't come up with it. Jairus White, the defender, number 45. Redskins starting to play better.
That time, Dave Butts took on 2 blockers and finally a third one and drove them all right back into Danny White's lap. The big fellow just put his head down, lined up in the over position on the center, and just took it right into the quarterback.
Butts just got a congratulatory pat from Jack Pardee, who recognizes what a good job he's doing. Danny White back to punt for Dallas. Mike Nelms back deep for Washington. White doesn't hit this one. Nelms runs into his own man, and the football takes a Cowboy bounce.
Lucky thing was it didn't touch anybody. If it had hit either one of them, it would have been a ball you could fall on and capture.
Watch this collision.
Sometimes when you're 3 and 8, these things happen. He's trying to give some help. Instead, it becomes a pain.
That's Monty Coleman that was back there furnishing the pain. Next Sunday here on CBS, St. Louis, the Giants. Washington will be at Atlanta. Minnesota, New Orleans, Tampa Bay against Green Bay. And Philadelphia at San Diego. Hello. That'll be some battle. 1st and 10. Heisman looks as his tight end, Gunn Warren. Shy of a first down by Charlie Waters.
Good play by Waters, but a great throw by Joe Theismann. He really squeezed that baby off. That was a tight spiral, hot, but handled well. Pretty good fake he put on, too. He got the heat off of him. Got the big fellas worrying about the fake.
By the way, we gave you that score of Philadelphia's win over Oakland today, 10-7. That clinches at least a wild card spot for the Eagles. So they'll be in the playoffs.
They're not satisfied with a wild card spot. Vermeil wants to win that division and take them as far as he can take them.
2nd and 3. At the 37. Wilbur Jackson will not get the first down.
The Redskins are beginning to pop out there now, aren't they?
John Dutton over to make the tackle, but yes, they are. In fact, one of them's down right now.
Is that Dean, the big tackle, the left tackle?
I think it's Jeff Williams, or is it Dean?
Because Hermeline's in, number 75 is in. He's had a bad finger for 2 weeks, and this is the...
That is Fred Dean.
Yeah, this is the young man from SC who's a very fine young prospect and has played both tackles, played guard. He's done everything for the Skins.
49ers over the Giants, 9-0, second quarter in San Francisco. Here at Texas Stadium, it's the Dallas Cowboys 7. The Washington Redskins 3 with 3:58 left before halftime.
Here's another Radio Shack Christmas gift idea. Soft, cuddly animals with a surprise inside. A radio. What a delightful gift. There's a raccoon, comic cat, brown spaniel, Pekingese, cuddly cat, and country mouse. It's a musical menagerie for kids and teens alike. The gift-priced, petable, portable radios. Only at Radio Shack, your Christmas electronics store.
I do the Continental to ensure my accidental.
We do the Continental to ensure our residential.
I do the Continental to ensure my developmental. They can insure all I have to insure.
I do the Continental to ensure my instrumental.
I do the Continental to ensure my Continental.
Join the over 4 million satisfied Continental insurance policyholders.
Do the Continental.
2 special Thanksgiving treats. First, a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Then, a brand new special, Thanksgiving in the Land of Oz. Be watching Tuesday at 8, 7 Central Mountain.
There's a 253-pounder from Texas Southern. I may have said Southern California by mistake, but you can see that Saul is blocking on Randy White and actually sort of gets whipped around and catches his own teammate on the leg there.
3rd and 1 for Washington. Dallas leading 7-3 on a misty, dreary day in Texas. Way ahead. There's Clarence Harmon. I don't think he got the first down.
Short yardage defense, and I'm telling you, Dallas was down with 7 people right on the line and tight. Let's see the charge, see who's in there. That's Randy White, you can see right in the middle. Dutton's just to his left. Harvey Martin to the right. And Ed Too Tall Jones uppermost in the picture. Let's see the charge. Boy, Too Tall got good penetration. Here comes 54 sticking his helmet through.
Randy White.
Some play, huh? That was the Craig Morton trade. That's how they got Randy White here as the number 1.
Bob Brunig with the assist. James Jones back deep for Dallas. Tunnel to deep for the Redskins. Oh, what a shot this is. Jones retreats all the way back to his 13-yard line. Looks for someplace to go, can't find it. Rick Walker is the first man down, and what a job the Redskins are doing now after Jones broke one earlier. Dallas will take over 1st and 10 at their own 16.
The kicker, young Connell, is out of Cincinnati. He's been booming them under pressure and getting good coverage now. Danny White is 3 of 7 for 54 yards and the interception. And right now, the Dallas offense is sort of floating.
Washington, inspired by that goal line stand, Redskins have -1 yard passing in the first half. Newhouse straight ahead, stopped by Perry Brooks again. Less than 3 left in the first half. 7-3 Dallas.
Murphy, the tight safety man, number 29, is the one that gets the defensive signal relayed to him. And, you know, it's great to have the secondary guys involved with the call. That way they can protect themselves.
Murphy's quite a player.
Good hitter.
2nd and 6 with 2:30 left first half. 2nd and 5 make it. Dallas with 1 timeout left. A slip screen outside of Drew Pearson, who last week broke the all-time Cowboy team record that had been held by Bullet Bob Hayes.
Incredible. Pearson's first catch, Joe Lavender, though, really had the play read. The incredible statistic on both Hayes and Drew Pearson is Drew Pearson, every 10th catch has been a touchdown. That's his average, like 31 some odd touchdowns. Bob Hayes had 73 touchdowns in 365 catches. That's a high percentage of TDs.
That is phenomenal. Not too many people could run with Bob Hayes.
Not even those Russians.
3rd down and 1. 2:21 left first half. Dorsett will try for the first down. Lost the football. Washington has it back. Jarris White picked it up. Dorsett almost broke it. Washington has the football. All of their timeouts remain.
A little bit of an altercation on the run back. Remember, this is only the 11th fumble that the Cowboys have lost all year. And Dorsett has cut down his ratio. I think he's only coughed the ball up 5 times. This time he really loses one. It looks like a big gainer. Let's see if he's carrying it well. Yeah, he just gets it squeezed out. Maybe the flak jacket bothers him.
He might have been trying to change hands with the football, too. And he got hit when he was making that effort. At the 37, Washington in good shape. They trail by 4. Goes right to work. Takes to his first. Looks for Jackson. Hits Jackson. He can't hang on.
Dennis Thurman was there, but that ball was catchable, and Jackson, nobody knows it more than Wilbur. And the ball was thrown well and pretty good pass blocking. There were not a lot of people in there in the pocket.
What's that protection?
Hermling's down at left tackle. That's Saul, 64. Kuzil's 54. Stayed in and picked up the outside man that was making a move, Harvey Martin. That ball's right on the mark.
That's a good throw. Vision might have been blocked a little bit. 10-10 between Seattle and Denver. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 at the 37. Have a 2-minute warning after this play. Heisman. Kenny Harrison, the reception knocked out of bounds by Benny Barnes.
And Pat, on that side of the field, when Ed Too Tall Jones comes in and then puts his arms up, he cuts the sunlight out and be able to throw it through the hands and all. I don't know how Joe Theismann got it through there that time. Excellent throw, another one.
Here's Big Ed. First down, Redskins, 2:03 left. They will have, as that play went out of bounds, a chance to run one more play before the 2-minute warning. Seconds left. 26-yard line battle. Clarence Harmon, the ball carrier. Not much.
They got Mosley there. They can always, anytime they get from the 40 on in, he is deadly. And they've had him try 7 field goals from over 50 yards this year, which shows you how desperate sometimes the offense has been. Whistling Ray.
2-minute warning. But for Ray, there is no warning.
He's got some good magic tricks, doesn't he? When he almost burned my coat up, showed me how to put a cigarette on it.
By the way, I mentioned earlier about Walter Payton being ejected from the game today against Atlanta. We'll have all the highlights from around the league.
All right, Ray.
At the half with Britton Irv. And we'll also see what did happen to Walter Payton and why he was ejected from that game. Heisman and Pardee on the left side of your picture.
Why does Whistling Ray whistle? That is our big question of the day, right?
I don't know how he does it.
What are they jotting down, Patrick? Do you know what they're doing?
Yeah, I think I do.
Are they reporting on each other? Maybe they're evaluating one another.
No, they're writing down, each one of them making a notation as to who can call a timeout within the last 2 minutes of either half.
Gosh sakes.
Second and 6. Ball at the 22-yard line. Automatic.
Yep.
Ricky Thompson, the receiver. Mike Hegman, the tackler.
2:55 is what he called out. It might be a dummy, though. That might have been the one they called from the bench.
Could be, although he looked both directions when he called it.
Theismann always checks with receivers when they come back. Some quarterbacks are so busy they don't get a chance to, but I notice he always checks with whomever is running a different pattern. What you have, what kind of coverage did you get?
It's a third down. Dan Nugent, number 62, as reported, he's lined up to the left-hand side of your picture as a tight end, but he is an eligible receiver. Harmon wrestled down outside the 15-yard line by Aaron Mitchell.
Good play by D.D. Lewis, too. He forced it early. Got part of the ball carrier. It's going to be an awfully close call. That was some defense.
Theismann coming over to check to see if they got a first down or not, surveying things, and they are going to measure.
Dennis Thurman for the defense.
Theismann for the prosecution.
Boy, he's really matured, though, as a person, hasn't he, too, as a quarterback, and runs the team.
Quite an athlete.
Yep.
And they got it. First down, Redskins. 1:06 left first half. Line of scrimmage is 17. Here's the first down effort by Harmon.
A lot of hair pulling on this one. It's a short yardage. See D.D. Lewis, number 50, playing off. He'll get part of it. Aaron Mitchell comes up, makes a strong tackle high where he had to take him.
It is a first down, Redskins. Clock running, less than a minute left to play. Redskins still have 2 timeouts left. Theismann back. Theismann with the bad hamstring just can't get away. It's Mike Hegman who comes in to sack him, and Theismann limps away.
Big John Dutton is the one that first got through to Theismann. They may have hurt that leg. Pretty good looking play. They had trips right. They had 3 receivers on the right side of the formation. I believe he's going to have to come out of there.
That's a final score. Kansas City 21, St. Louis 13. Redskins used another timeout. They have only 1 left as Theismann comes over, and I don't know if he has to come out or not.
All right, Krusek is the young quarterback obtained from Pittsburgh that would move in. Let's look at it. You can see all those receivers to the top of the screen. Watch 78 come piling in there low. And then he gets a little help. Boy, that's help.
There's Dutton that hit him and knocked him off balance, and then Hegman arrived on the scene after that.
What kind of range are we for Mosley now? This would be a...
It would be
40-yard field goal.
40 yards, 41 perhaps, and that's his range, at least.
He's 5 of 7 out to the 40.
Tom Landry with another new coat. Krusek is loosening up over in front of the Washington bench.
How about those old films that they showed on Tex Ram's show this morning here of Tom Landry as the football player?
Running back an interception at the Polo Grounds in New York when he was with the Giants.
Looked like tin type stuff. The film was so old looking, wasn't it?
Well, that was one of the great secondaries. That was the original umbrella.
Emlyn Tunnell.
Otto Schnellenbarker. Krusek 3 out of 4, 19 yards.
Good drop back passer, though, with great feet. He's sort of a stylist in that he won't scramble around like this man can do when he's healthy.
6'1", 205 from Boston College.
But he sets up. He's firm with it.
Theismann over behind the Redskin bench, still trying to stretch out that hamstring. He's just having trouble walking. Kruzek, the quarterback. Second down. 18 to go at the 24. Swings in motion. Kruzek scrambles away as penalty markers go down in all directions.
Looked like Stark or somebody in the right side moved. Of course, the defense is allowed to jitterbug a little bit and try to draw you off. That's about all they allow the defense to do anymore. Jitterbug.
Well, you can't hit anybody.
Offense, number 74. Ball start.
74. George Stark.
Maintain your balance, right? Got a little foot drop back there early.
49ers picked up another field goal, and they now lead the Giants 12-0. Second quarter. They had to be just about due. Second and 23 now. Back at the 29-yard line. For the Redskins, Harmon and Jackson, the running backs behind Mike Kruzek. Kruzek just about takes him out of field goal range.
His second sack of the day, and Harvey Martin has come to play. And nobody could put a rush on like Harvey. Third-round draft choice out of East Texas State. And he says he has to prove himself every day. He's almost like the airline commercial. Watch this move. He didn't take the fake, did he? You're right. It's going to be a 56-yard field goal if they try this one.
Timeout Redskins, and that's the last one they have in this half.
Dallas is stunning on defense. They thought they would fool Harvey Martin and have him chasing down inside, and this time they failed. It's Joe Walton there, the offensive coordinator for Pardee. Quite a man. He really knows a lot about football. He's a very fine coach.
Usually has his cap on backwards. That may be a basic change.
A little rain in the air. Maybe he wanted to...
Could be. 3rd and 34 with 35 seconds left in the first half. It is Dallas 7, Washington 3. Dallas came in with a record of 8-3, Washington 3-8. But in this series, records have little significance.
Are you looking for a screen pass of some kind? Get you to the sidelines, it can stop the clock, do those things for you at the same time?
They have no timeouts left.
Right.
So a screen pass wouldn't be a bad move on third down. They need a few to get Mosley back in range. Here's up to the quarterback. Look out. Jones and Martin and White, and they all met at the quarterback.
We were talking once to Jerry Wampler with the Eagles, the offensive line person, the coach. He says that when Tutal makes his move, he backs you away from doing anything to the right side. And watch the top of your screen, watch 72. Because Harvey Martin is going to take the wide bend to make a shot. Look at Ed Tutal coming right over Stark, and there's nowhere to go. He cuts off all avenues of escape.
And now Dallas takes a timeout. That's all for them. It is 4th and 46. A fairly decent defensive series for Dallas.
Unless we can fly in Tom Dempsey, I think a field goal is out of the question.
I think it's too overcast. 29 seconds left to play in the first half as Tom Landry watches that defense operate and operate very effectively. Jones goes over, and that's Mike Ditka he's talking to.
Remember, they've redone the whole secondary.
Yeah.
Waters wasn't here last year. Mitchell was playing part-time on nickel defenses. Of course, Randy Hughes was activated and now can start playing again, but Benny Barnes was hurt with the appendectomy and is just now playing again.
Jones standing back at the 10-yard line. Mike Connell to do the punting for Washington. Trail 7-3. They're going to try to block this one. They don't get it. And another good kick. Bouncing into the end zone and out. Monty Coleman down with a one-handed nonchalant grab.
Can he run? They said he caught one of those on the fly earlier in the year and put it down on the one.
The Dallas will take over. 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Long way to go. No timeouts left.
What you don't want is a turnover if you're on the offense right now. You don't want to give the Skins one more shot to get on the board.
boss can stumble around for 20 seconds before they'll get him down. That should be the last play of the first half. And a much tougher first half than I think many imagined. Cowboys 7, Redskins 3. They head for the locker room. Another half of football to go. And the Cowboys, of course, already aware that the Eagles have beaten Oakland today, and they must win here.